Broadcasting live from the basement of the Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
This is a public service announcement from C.T. Fletcher. I will not contribute to the pussification of a nation. Get your punk ass out there and work for it, motherfucker.
Let's roll.
Morning, Sergeant Major.
How do you know what kind of goddamn day it is?
Beautiful morning, Sergeant Major.
Are you a fucking weatherman now?
You're listening to Sergeant's Time on WTF Nation Radio.
From the Functional Veterans Center of Excellence on this 12 February. Man, Sergeant's Time. U.S. Army WTF Moments. WTF Nation Radio. Man, it's been a crazy week. A lot of news. I guess Fort Hood opened up their new whatever DFAC thingy. We'll be posting up some updates on that. And also an interesting last 48 hours, I guess, with at Fort Bliss, Texas. Or actually El Paso, Texas. Yeah, man. So you guys don't know, a few days ago. Wait, hang on. Let me double check on this date here. I'll make sure I'm straight on this. It was yesterday, a couple days ago. Damn, it does seem like it's been a long week. A couple days, yesterday. I keep saying a couple days ago. It feels like a couple days ago. As a matter of fact, let me just open it up right quick. So that way we can all laugh and yuck it up together. How you guys doing? I see you in the chats. How y'all doing? What do you hear? What do you say? Greetings and salutations. What's up? This one time at band camp. Oh, you're playing Xbox? What you playing, man? What you playing? Just want to say a second here. Yeah, man. What's up, guys? What's up? All right, so it was pretty. I'm just gonna say it was pretty freaking weird because there was a travel advisory that was posted at the El Paso International Airport, and it got posted up, and it seemed like exactly. I was gonna do an intro. With the entrance of Episode 4, A New Hope, or for us olds, the original Star Wars. I was like, what happened over El Paso? It was going to be like, all that stuff with the Star Destroyer coming in at the beginning after the opening crawl, but I didn't want to get busted and have Disney come after me and send the mouse after me for posting some stuff that has something to do with Disney Star Wars. So, anyways, there was, I was being a bitch. Oh, damn, okay, fuck people that say that. What do you guys? Whoa! What's going on? What are you guys talking about? Who's being a bitch? Quick response, yeah. All right, so there's a travel advisory that all flights were going to be to and from El Paso were going to be grounded, including commercial, cargo, and general aviation. And the FAA has issued a flight restriction of all flights to and from El Paso, effective 10 February at 11:30 Mountain Standard Time to 20 February for like 10 freaking days. And it just got locked down. Everything's been locked down. The military. Oh, first search comment. Gotcha. The military even did like what? Well, what's happening? There was even some drama of how could you? Hang on. Let me. That was that one right there. Let me scroll back up to this one right here. It was not even what was that? That was yesterday. Yeah, it was early in the morning. It was posted. There we go. Here's the second one, and then I'll just go to their site itself. I'll fix it. Relax. Though, what's up? Okay, you trying to psyop on me? You trying to do some psyops on me? So the flight restrictions were lifted. The El Paso International Airport operations have reopened following the federal administration's decision to lift the temporary closure of airspace over El Paso. Travelers are encouraged to contact their respective airlines directly for the most up-to-date flight information as carriers work to restore service. Now, hang on. Let me put that up there. I don't know why these keeps moving around. There you go. Move this out of the way so I can get it better. So you guys can see the little bit of the writing there. TSA screenings operations have resumed. We appreciate the community's patience and cooperation as we return to full operations. Nobody knows what happened. Matter of fact, if you guys do know what happened, go ahead and hit us up in the inbox at US Army WTF Moments. Inbox is always anon, always discreet. We will not reveal sources, but that whole closure caused so much finger pointing. It was almost like the been retired since 2008 and the post I see still. Appreciate it there, Rick. Let me read what Rick says. Been retired since 2008 and the post I see on this page still speak to me on a deep level. I know the feeling, man. Know the feeling. So now everyone's pointing fingers at what was happening, what was going on, who is to blame. Whose fault was it? And everyone likes to say that it was cartel related. It was a errant balloon from a quinceañera. It was extraterrestrials, aliens. Ooh, that Sergeant's Time. Doesn't go into the tinfoil much, but there was talks that there was also aliens coming up. The aliens were coming to hang out, and Big Brother jacked it up again. Yeah, exactly. I was about to say, we would fuck it up. We would fuck it up. We would fuck it up just as bad as Bondi testifying before Congress. That's how bad we'd fuck it up. Everyone's like the faith in humanity and all this other shit. Nah, I don't have faith in humanity if aliens were to show up. So, according to, and I know this is sort of kind of off, it's more like a Monday topic, but this is the Sergeant's Time because it affected Fort Bliss. Everyone was freaking out. All their flights were getting canceled. Soldiers, getting to go do some stuff. And they were going to go to schools and they were going to travel and all sorts of shit. And they were like, what the hell's going on? Military flights. They were getting told that, hey, you stop. You're not flying. What? So there's a whole bunch of tinfoil behind it. Secretary Sean Duffy, the Secretary of the Department of Transportation, said that the FAA and the Department of War acted swiftly to address a cartel drone incursion. The threat has been neutralized. It sounds like freaking Star Trek or something. The threat has been neutralized. There is no danger to commercial traffic in the region. The restrictions have been lifted and normal flights are resuming. End of quote. I would honestly think, look, I want to know what it is. Everybody was curious and wants to know the tea, right? Everybody wants to know who's happening or what's been happening with this. But I honestly think there was something else. I don't want to inject some tinfoil into the conversation. But when you have three different stories, it was a cartel. It was a quinceañera balloon. It was freaking testing, four things. Testing of equipment or aliens. Not illegal ones either. I'm kind of curious, would they be considered illegal aliens if they were if aliens were to actually have shown up to Fort Bliss of all places? You ever notice all the alien witnessing stuff always happens in cities or towns that are like way out in rural areas? And then you're like, but El Paso? I will say White Sands Missile Range, whatever it was flying in that space, alien, balloon, or drone, lucky that some of them Patriot units out there. I'm not a missileer. I'm not a missileer guy. I'm not a missile guy. But I will guarantee it. That there are some first to fire kids out there that would love to pull the trigger on any drones or something like that. Now people are saying it was a drone busting equipment that was used. It was lasers that was being used. The FAA said the temporary closure of airspace has been lifted and there is no threat to commercial aviation. All flights resumed as normal. That's what the FAA said. But they just left it ambiguous. There's like vague. It's almost like, oh, okay. All right. Y'all gonna say something else? Is the Army gonna say anything? Is the Department of War gonna say anything? Yeah, why can't anything cool happen at Fort Hood? Hey, did you hear about that new DFAC that opened up? I want to get some stuff about the DFACs, but it was kind of crazy. It's like, you would think, no, I mean, I have been like, wait a minute, why hasn't anybody posted some shit? All the cool stuff happens at Fort McCoy. You sure about that? Yeah. I just don't understand. How come you would think in the world of clout and showing off what we can do that we would have had a video or something like that, or some sort of, I don't know, telemetry scope or whatever to do shoot downs. Again, I'm not a missileer. I know nothing about how that stuff works. Yeah, DOD is like, I'm just going to eat this jelly donut. Nothing really posted about it. It's just nothing was ever talked. Let me see the drone. Hang on. Again, we've not really seen anything. Well, you sent me something in chat. Let me see what you. Let's see. Let me look at the chat here. I'm not. Are you talking about the other chat? Which chat? Oh yeah, the DFAC opening up. Yeah. Video wasn't in the FY26 budget. Yeah, exactly that. Now, reportedly, there's other videos being shown. And again, these are reported videos. These are alleged videos. So I cannot confirm or deny any of this. But there's videos out there. I don't know if I should post it because I don't want to like propagate disinformation, misinformation, or public affairs information out there that, you know, and everyone was like saying, no, the videos that you've seen of lights in the sky were actually mountains. Yeah, I won't post that one because I want people to say like, oh, did you see this guy? So it's pretty weird. No, I mean, nothing really. Again, there are individuals that are UFO enthusiasts. I know I love talking about UFOs anyways. I do believe UFOs. I do believe in UFOs. I know it's kind of weird to say. A lot of people are like, "Oh man, I just think there's something out there that is not human." That's what I 100% believe in. So the possible theory, of course, from all the UAP or UFO enthusiasts is that there is probably something probably happened that went out there, and it was a possible theory that a UFO or something was in the airspace and caused the need for a legacy program crash retrieval system team to operate in secrecy, like Roswell, finding a bunch of, whatever parts on the ground. And that's why there was a 10-day no-fly zone dropped down there. And then it disappeared, or they went to go get it and they got it after it was shot down. Rick says, funny story about Fort McCoy. They trained soldiers for the 442nd Infantry Regiment there, and up into the 2000s, they would do a road march, and they still call it Jap Pass. Oh my God! Quote Jap Pass. And they would march through. Pretty offensive these days, but I know it's still a bit of interesting history. Is there a? I know there's a couple of places on Fort Knox that refers to Krauts, so I'm just curious. So, yeah, I was about to say the 442nd was the unit that was composed primarily of Japanese Americans. So again, that's what all to go back. I was talking about the drones and the UAP, UFO, UASs, whatever. there's a lot of individuals that are like, was it a UFO? Was not was it not right past? No, where was that one? I don't know, was it Fort Knox? No, they talk like Kraut something. I can't remember. So again, do you believe that? Do you guys believe it? Do you guys believe that there was something out there that other than like it wasn't a drone, it wasn't a balloon, it wasn't? Everyone's saying testing new lasers or something like that. Do you think it was a UFO? I kind of would like to believe it. Is it or is it not a UFO? Well, if you don't know what it is, yeah. So there's a lot of individuals that were talking about, hey, it was a balloon. Kind of like how we were saying all the balloons that were crossing over the country from China, and then people were denying that it was a balloon until somebody fucking took a picture of a fucking balloon, or something that was noticed by somebody, an enthusiast who had a telescope, or was it a telegraphic lens on his camera, and revealed that it was a balloon. And then that's when we started tracking balloons. Holly says you just want to fly it. Okay. What if I told you we are the aliens? So there were some stories in the past about the UK's Dragonfire system. It's a Dragonfire laser system. And so that it was used in El Paso. So there was a test, I guess, that was done. Let me grab this window cap of a test. There you go. Here's here if you want. Pew pew. So is this air defense artillery, or is this air defense or something like that? Is this laser stuff? I know everyone likes to jump in and say who it is. I'll be honest with you. Anything that needs to get shot down in the atmosphere is air defense artillery or missileer lane. You know, the missile people. That's their lane, and those are the ones I will say, hey, dude, what's up with this? Is this the type of system? Some of them can't talk about it anyways if those systems are online. But I just freaking think that it's pretty freaking interesting. And that was the few stories used that people were saying that was UK's Dragonfire laser. We got PIQ saying, yep, it's a pretty good system. It's pretty cool. So yeah, interesting stuff. A UFO. That UFO might or might not have been flown by cats. I'm gonna tell you what. If aliens, if cats are aliens and they're flying the ships, knowing how cats are, they would have started lighting us up. You know what I mean? Because cats are assholes. And so I guarantee it. If the aliens were like cats, like the game Wing Commander in the movie Wing Commander, right? The aliens were cats. Duck hunters with laser punters, yeah. I wonder if this El Paso is related to the drones that were flying in New York and New Jersey. Yes, that was a good question too. That was brought up. Somebody asked me to throw that to discuss on air. I know there's some questions about different alien technologies and all that. I know somebody revealed, I saw on the timeline, that there's alien cities underwater. Just crazy shit. People were saying, no, it was the CBP. It was the Border Patrol that shot down a party balloon from a quinceañera before the FAA closed. So, again, I don't know if it's dear, redneck intelligence. You know, I heard he was a CBP. I'm glad cats don't have wings because everything would die. Dude, I'm just telling you what, cats are assholes. So if cats are aliens, we're fucked. I'll just say that right there. I wonder if Space Force would be excited to take over air defense over a certain altitude. Yeah, see, that's a good question. I know a couple missileers, individuals in that field that work in missile space comm or something like that. Missile, air defense missile, whatever. That understand all the airspace restrictions and all that. And they're planners and stuff like that. And one described to me how they break the atmosphere up in like a cube-like thing and escape, describe some things to me, which is way over my level when it comes to like 3D physics and shit like that. So, some of the AI images, please do not share some of the AI images that I'm going to show. We've gotten some stuff in the inbox that we're like, that's AI, that's slop, that's AI. I'm starting to notice a lot of individuals are using AI anyways, but Mima and Pop Pop have been sharing a ton of them. So again, everyone's asking, is there a secret alien base now in El Paso? Not just the 1st Armored Division, not just JTF-6. Is there another organization out there that we don't know about? Is this the offsite where Stargate number 2 is at, or number 3? You guys are fans and aficionados of the Stargate universe. I love that movie and TV series. So even the White House said, it was like, oh, threat neutralized. Everyone's saying that it possibly could have been engage targets with the locust system. Yeah. Yep, exactly. So again, I would like to have something. I would like to see some sort of statement, because we're all big and bad when it comes to knocking out drug boats, right? And knocking out fucking going in and raiding, Maduro and snatching him up. For some reason, we just can't grab this. We just can't grab this one. No one's posting anything. I want to see vid if we did neutralize it. That would be some interesting stuff. Yeah, interesting stuff. I'm glad there's no injuries either. I'm glad it wasn't like a drone swarm that had to do with explosives or something like that. But I just think that it was, for you to close off the space and the technology, it just seems a little off. The area into which it was restricted was right next to the White Sands Missile Range, which is just north of Chaparral, or Anthony, right there. You can see where the Oregon Mountains Desert Peaks National Monument, and you see that little area right there where it was all blocked off. So I'm just curious if it was a, I really am meta, and I have AI, and sometimes somehow created myself. Somebody asked me one time if I was responsible for Max Headroom. Long time ago, back in the day. Did you ask Space Force? Ooh, you know what? Let me see. That's the thing. I don't want to ask Space Force WTF moments, because when I do ask them stuff that has to do with something, I get left on red. So I don't think they could talk about some of the stuff that I ask them. So anyways, that NOTAM was pretty specific. It gave a little area of where it was going to be covered. And so counter drone operations again. My freaking, I'm all about the UFO fascination. I'm all about the, man, why El Paso? Why Fort Bliss? Now we're never going to hear the end of it from the guys over at Fort. Exactly. 1st Armored Division will never stop talking about it. Yeah, exactly. Oh, PIQ's got a theory. What you got? What you got, PIQ? Space Force is really all about delivering biscuits and gravy to the astronauts, supposedly. So, ooh. Okay, man, it's not old. Max Headroom's pretty freaking. What are you talking about? It's in the 80s realm. It's like the MTV realm. Okay, so let me read some of these comments in here. From PIQ, he's got a theory. He says that the Nazi tech conspiracy and why we really went to Antarctica. It's Epstein's clones. Ooh, man, Epstein shit. Oh man, Attack of the Clones. Yeah, dude, that Epstein shit. Did you guys see the Attorney General? I know we're like totally going off track right here for Sergeant's time, but did you guys see the testimony from the Attorney General? Oh my God, what a fucking train wreck. We're gonna talk about it on Monday for sure. My guess that had to do with some of the cartels training with drones. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. It could be anything. People have been sending me drone videos of what they could do. And let me see. Oh, there's one here that I wanted to show. What type of? Then of course Fox News, as of 4 hours ago, said, "Oh no, it was a party balloon," mistaking it for a foreign drone. That's not old. 40. What are you talking about? Epstein. Oh my God. Yeah. That whole fucking Attorney General fucking Bondi doing her testimony yeah. Sergeant's time today, so we'll talk about that on Monday. So again, back and forth. Nobody knew what was happening. Nobody knew what was going on. And the Pentagon let CBP use an anti-drone laser before the FAA closed the airspace. This is what's been reported from Military Times. The Pentagon allowed CBP to use an anti-drone laser this week leading to the FAA suddenly closing airspace over El Paso, reported from the Military Times. According to two people familiar with the situation who spoke on the condition of anonymity to discuss sensitive details. The confusing arc of events. No shit, it was confusing. Events began as the FAA announced that it was shutting down all flight traffic over the city on the U.S.-Mexico border for 10 days. Yeah, exactly that, PIQ. Hang on to me. Do I want to go ahead and just put my tinfoil on? You know, or just get the tinfoil radar. I always have my tinfoil ready. That's a cover story, right? I feel the same way. I feel there's more to the story. The cartel. Pip says the cartel. The cartels are airdropping tortas on us. One could be so lucky. We got anti-drone lasers before GTA 6. Yeah, you ain't lying. So it stranded some travelers, but the closure only lasted a few hours. So the Trump administration said it stemmed from the FAA and the Pentagon working to halt an incursion by Mexican cartel drones, which is not uncommon on the southern border. Yeah, drop some tortillas, exactly, or some good tamales. Tacos de carne asada. Con frijoles. Y arroz. One of the people said the laser was deployed in Fort Bliss without coordinating with the FAA, which decided to then close the airspace to ensure commercial safety. Hey, what's up, Pervasive Val? I haven't seen you in here in a minute. The NBTOs finally got access to the downed alien aircraft the CIA has been stealing from. Yeah, exactly that. I want some of that. Exactly that, Pervasive Val, and the chats. I want some of that. Wow, the restrictions are short-lived for a city of nearly 700,000. It's unusual for an entire airport to shut down, even for a short time. I'll be honest with you, though. Better safe than sorry. I would rather have had the FAA say, "Fuck this, we're shutting this down." NOTAMs go out, which is notice to airmen. NOTAMs are something that pilots read or are issued before when they do their pre-flight and they go about ready to take off, and that happen. They review it also before they fly or whatever. Some of them are continuous and all that. That's a whole other MOS. But it's a notice to airmen that says this is what's happening. This is what I would rather have that happen than some CBP dude, accidentally light up a fucking airliner in the mixture of air traffic and quinceañera balloons or drones in the atmosphere. So the normal flights were resumed after 7 arrivals and 7 departures were canceled, and some medical evacuation flights had to be rerouted. I didn't know about the medical stuff being rerouted. So, a troubling lack of coordination. That's a big no shit. Investigation, of course, in last year's collision near D.C. between an airline and an Army helicopter that killed 67 people highlighted how the FAA and the Pentagon have not always worked well together. An understatement. The NTSB said the FAA and the Army did not share safety data with each other about the alarming number of close calls. This is for the report and all that. I think we already shared the NTSB report. So, of course, everybody says that the cross-border stuff, everybody knows about it. We've all seen videos on social media of cartel drones, us flying our drones, observing border incursions on our southern border. Southern border. So Mexican officials question the explanation. Asked about the drone explanation provided by U.S. officials, Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum said had no information about the use of drones on the border. And the government's not corrupt, right? She noted that the U.S. authorities have more information than they should contact Mexico's government. I think at this point right there, yes, she is correct. I just need a refurbished interdimensional drive for my discombobulator engine and on my invisible intergalactic war drive spaceship. So, yeah, let's see who else. El Paso Mayor Renard Johnson told reporters that he did not hear about the closure until after the alert was issued, which goes to the effective joint messaging and coordination at specific operation centers on how civil disturbances were worked. I mean, we really suck at that. It's always before. It's always when, oh shit, when we need, like, nothing gets stood up. I mean, of course, FEMA, the DOD and all that, they all have their joint task forces, and they all have their description of missions of authorities to go do whatever. That's a whole other conversation as well. I know that was a big drama now I'll talk about that on Monday as well, about people shit talking the relief efforts of what we did in Puerto Rico. So yeah, let's see. Confusion for travelers. Travel plans on both sides were both disrupted, which obviously some flights at 7 and 7, I guess, 7 departures, 7 arrivals, got stuff. So again, hey, I'm just glad nobody got hurt. I'm glad the Dow's over 50,000. I should say that. That is a joke about the testimony with the Attorney General. So again, just one of those things. You guys head on a swivel. But if you do have any video of it getting shut down, please. Inbox is always anon. DMs are always secured. And we'd be more than happy to share that information or post that for you. Oh, and a Keurig coffee pot. I don't know about that. So I was gonna go into the testifying drama. Let's see, make sure I got my stories right here. Sorry, so somebody sent me a meme, and I was like laughing my ass off about this meme. So the Armed Services Committee had the senior enlisteds show up and testify before Congress, and it got pretty spicy. Senator Liz Warren kind of like laid into the Sergeant Major of the Army, and it was quite testy. And I'm going to play an excerpt of it, and I'm not going to play the whole testimony, but just where she kind of snapped off on the Sergeant Major of the Army. I'll let you guys decide. How about that? Let me change the image here so I can get this up and then get you guys get the sound, and we can listen together.
All of you, does anyone here believe that it is appropriate for a housing company to prohibit service members from reporting to their commander or to congressional representatives that a company has failed to remove toxic mold in their room for over 10 months? I'll just take a simple yes or no if you think it's okay to do that. I'll start down at this end.
I think service members should always have the access to their commanders to be able to report problems, ma'am.
Okay, and be able to tell Congress. This is part of what oversight is about, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Just want to make sure we're clear. Sergeant Major?
Ranking Member, that chain of command should be well aware of everything that's going on in that situation that you just declared.
Okay, so you are not in favor of these non-disclosure agreements?
I'm in favor of taking care of the family in that situation, Ranking Member.
Wait, are you wobbling here on me on whether or not those non-disclosure agreements should be permitted?
I don't think a family should be put in a box where they cannot have accountability and be taken care of, Ranking Member. I've lived in houses. I don't quite understand how a family gets put in a corner for a non-disclosure. I have to do some more research on that. But that scenario, that 10-month scenario, there should be a chain of command that knows everything that's going on in that before anybody.
You know, Sergeant Major, I don't understand where you're trying to parse words here. The question is, as part of getting a repair, should any housing operator that's working for the United States government and getting paid by the United States government be able to say to a service member, I'm only doing the repair after you sign an agreement that you won't tell anybody in your chain of command, or you won't tell any congressional oversight committee about what this place was like?
That right there, Ranking Member, they should not be able to do.
Good. We're clear.
Ranking Member, no.
Okay.
No.
Ranking Member Warren, absolutely not.
Good.
No, they should not be forced to do that.
Good. I appreciate this. You know, this may seem.
Okay. What are your all thoughts on that? Now, of course, a lot of individuals here. Look, I'm gonna tell you something that you guys don't realize. There are a lot of members of Congress, and there are a lot of members that sit in these in these committees that are actually the ones, and it doesn't matter. It's pretty bipartisan. That actually get some of the information that you guys have provided to WTF Moments and Hots and Cots and Army Reddit that gets viewed by members of congressional staff. It doesn't matter what that person's political affiliation is when they're asking our senior leaders about anything that has to do with India. I don't think a fucking India needs to happen to begin with. When it comes to housing contractors on installations, we have fought this all this. I mean, matter of fact, I can just go ahead and go to WTF Moments right now, search for mold, and I could provide you plenty of proof all the way back to 2012, 2013, when we first started reporting all this stuff, when it became an issue, or before it became hey, I think we should report this, like legit a WTF moment. Matter of fact, let me just go ahead and go mold. Now, a lot of individuals that have come on as guests, a lot of housing advocates, a lot of soldiers and family members have come on to here and on this podcast to discuss the situations that, yes, there are some contractors that tell soldiers you need to sign this NDA for this because we don't want you to fucking bust us out. And they in turn, like, hell no. We should not have to send. We should not have to send anything. Now let me just go ahead again. Once again, all I did was type mold in the search at U.S. Army WTF Moments. I mean, you can see right there, Fort Stewart, Fort Wainwright. This was 2016, 2020. Fire alarm and stuff. Little sparkly outlet there. 2016. This year. Oh wait, that's a stripper pole. What was the caption on that? Better this than mold. Carry on. Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry. I was like, what the fuck was this about? Anyways, go back to what I was saying. March 16, 2023. This was in a theater. 2024. We ain't got mold in our vehicles. Yeah, exactly. 2016, 3CR. 2018, 2019, 2022. I mean, we could go back. You see there's articles in here by individuals that have written, provide information provided by you guys. This Fort Drum, this is last year. So none of this is current. This is 2013. We were posting some spicy shit back in the day. Holy crap. I'll look at some of the stuff right now. Holy crap. Yep, more stuff here. It's from 2015, 2022. Fort Campbell. Mold and nods too, exactly that. There was one instance where we had, and I'll just slowly scroll here, where we had this was last year when Rob was talking about how the memo's language puts the blame on the service members when they talked about the Army blames showers left wet after use for mold in the barracks. There was one in here where we had, it's from our friends from the Pineapple Express down under. Shout out to you guys, Pineapple Express. They're the U.S. Army WTF Moments version of but out in Australia. Same thing with Fill Your Boots in the UK. Let me see. There's another one here. There's this thing is still loading up. There's years. Fort Stewart, 82nd. Here's a story where a family had to live in a trailer because their house was so contaminated. from mold. Another Mother Jones wrote an article about our mold too. Scribble every NDA I've ever had to sign as a circular design. Yeah. Hots and Cots, talking about Hots and Cots and stuff when they first came out. So that was a pretty big push back in the day for mold. So even the Guidons got mold. There's another one in here where it was Fort Stewart. And they had, once we reported it, once it was on, what the fuck was this? WTF, it's December, WTF Nation. We want to hear your crazy tales for the barracks. What kind of shenanigans were up to God in the Mona Festival? Look at that. Mold painted over. This is from Guam Barracks. This is when the Secretary of the Navy went in just last year. There was one where we had posted, and it was at Fort Stewart where, and there's this thing's still cycling through. Matter of fact, let me, Fort Stewart mold. So we do this live, so we can see, y'all can see this. Like, holy shit, you guys really did go far back. Let's see, that one there. There was one where we had, here he is right here, the guy. This is the one we're looking at. Where mold was all over the kid's uniform. So, yeah. Anywho, so just saying again, this is not new. So I get it. You fucking, you as a fucking housing contractor don't want to get blamed, right? I get it from a business side of the house, but what I don't fucking get is why you're making soldiers sign a fucking NDA. Just fucking say, look, we take responsibility for it. We want to help. That's the whole culture of command, it seems like these days. When something that is going to get revealed, you think it's bad. Highlight something. Yeah, we fucking fixed this. Not only did we fix this, but we fired the individual that did this. We took care of the soldier. I get it. You don't want to fucking you don't want to get a black eye. That's not the way. That's what it's all about. It's not what it's all about. You freaking own up to that shit. I just couldn't believe Sergeant Major of the Army couldn't answer that question. I don't know. She asked yes or no. So when she said, "Do you get are you a wobbly on me?" I'm like, "Ooh, shit. It's kind of rough." So, let's see what's up here. Somebody's showing me this new. Speaking of which, new defact here. So the 42nd Bistro. Let's check out this 47 Bistro thing. Let me see it. Let me open this all right here so we can see it together. How about that? It's something so stupid that it hurts. Exactly that, dude. It's so easy to fucking fix. I get it. Fucking the companies don't want to fucking, they're afraid. We're so litigious. We like to sue everybody in our society. So companies are going to fucking protect their bottom line. But making soldiers sign NDAs, chain of command, they should be aware when we've been posting about this shit since 2013. Someone needs to tell Colby to fix the mold issue services and his denial concept of denying the ability to China steal mold spores. Maybe we should do that, right? Yeah, exactly that. Persuasive. Why did I say pervasive? Persuasive. Persuasive, Al. Maybe we should tell that our mold is some secret high speed. Maybe we should tell the world that our mold is some sort of enhancement to our soldiers. These spores are specifically designed better than COVID. Better than COVID makes us super soldiers. Because if you can handle mold in the barracks, you can handle anything else, right? Pervasive. Why do I keep saying pervasive? I keep fucking your name up, Persuasive. Anyways, let's check out this fucking video from Hood. Fort Hood. PIQ, why don't they just ask the Army for liability protections to offer repair? So I'm about to say, do your fucking contract, man. There we go. Okay, so this is Bistro 42. I'm going to play it for you.
Welcome to 42 Bistro. Let's check it out. 42 Bistro is not your average dining facility. You get all of this. 5 made-to-order stations serving up custom pizzas, pastas, wraps, salmon, and more. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, eat it here, take it there, or get it where you are. This is 42 Bistro.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Go back to that time. 6:30 to 2100? Those aren't more spore. Those are midi-chlorian spores. We're breeding Jedi. Yeah, exactly that. Look at that time. Maybe we should have some of our friends that like to post on Fort Hood or like to talk about. Maybe we get some of our influencer friends to go out and fucking test out and say, hey, go check it out. Do some Hots and Cots reviews. Pretty sure Rob will appreciate that on the app. Yeah, exactly. I can't get over it either. Sergeant Major should have just said yes or no, and that would have been it. No, they should not be signing an NDA, and that should have been it. I don't know, that was like a board question or some shit. It's like when you have a soldier answer the question at the board and they like rattle off instead of a yes or no question. Or like a politician. At least you get free mushrooms, yeah. Somebody said it was like what was that, The Last of Us, that one video game where people turn into like, mold. So anyways, check out the 0630 to 21, 7 days a week. 42 Bistro. We'll be keeping an eye on this. I know there was a lot of fanfare about it and opening it up. I know Rose Thayer from Stars and Stripes did a couple of write-ups on it and posted some stuff as well. As a matter of fact, let's look at some of her posts on here. Let me open this up. That way we can all check it out together. Let's see what she posted up here. This is at 42 Bistro, so she went to go check it out today. And this is what she was she managed to get. Let me grab some of these images here, courtesy of Rose Thayer from the Stars and Stripes. And let me open up this images here so you can see some of this chow. All right. So this is some of the photos that she recorded, she posted from the event. It's pretty cool. Decent. That almost looks like a sort of like kind of a. Does that look like a Red Robin burger or something like that? There you go. It's a nice salad. There you go. Was that a smoothie? I would say that was a smoothie. Yeah. Some tacos there. Pizza. Oh man, now I'm craving pizza. I want a pizza now. And that was a grand total of $15.92. Here was all the what is that? Some sort of freaking. Oh, okay. Those are all the different types of drinks they had there. So yeah, toasted buns. Yeah, curious at the pricing. So this is what the troops meal card entitlements. Now here's my thing. This is the thing that we were talking about, the freedom dollar stuff. So now they're going to have freedom dollars. Why don't you just pay in the BAS? Well, if you do the math, everyone says, doing the math, and it's like $39 a day. And you get, Fort Hood food used to look good like that already, Wayne. They used to look like that before. There was a time where Fort Hood was actually the great place. Everyone, from quoting her, that everyone that I spoke to, this is quoting her, everyone that I spoke to seemed excited and happy about their meals, myself included. I'll have more photos and breakdowns on the bistro tomorrow. So there you go. Yeah, so that's those are the prices there. There you go. I'm telling you what, look at that. That looks good. That looks good. That looks good. I kind of enjoy the salads myself. See, there's another post about it. Yes, that was it. So that was the story of 42 Bistro. Just converted my head. But yeah, exactly that. Exactly that. Yeah, that's some good chow. Exactly. She wrote an article on it talking about the first new in the Army, new privately run DFACT. Privately run. So we'll see how that works out. So everyone's skeptical. Everyone's, this is exciting. I should say everyone. I should say some are skeptical. Some are, okay, this is exciting. We'll test this out. Some are saying this shit ain't going to work. Some that the fanfare is going to only last for a few months and then it's going to die off. So we'll see. Heath just said it. I should do a noise. I should have like a little tone every time someone says back at Bragg. Heath in the comments. Back at Bragg in the early 90s, the defects were slapping. They are still slapping. Tribe Cafe. Mm-hmm. Hell yeah. Let's go chow. So this is the PIQs. Do you think that it says I think it will work if managed correctly. That's the thing. The Army will only pay the company for meals eaten by soldiers, and with meal entitlements, all other revenue will have to come from other soldiers, officers, civilian, and family members choosing to eat there. Somebody asked about the money, how it's going to be paid. It all comes from the Army continually looking to recreate defects as soldiers choose them less often. So the Blackjack Defect spent several weeks in renovations and is now rechristened. If you guys know, it's the Blackjack Defect. Rechristened to 42 Bistro. I think me and Spanky are going to have to go check it out. I'll have to take a drive and go check it out. So a select group of soldiers, 75 troops, will slowly expand to its full grand opening on February 18th. So it's going to be full on up, 18 February. I will offer three times the operating hours, which I think is pretty good. 0630 to 2100 is not bad. Those are some good times. Because basically, if you get an appointment or something like that, or after PT, it's already open, ready to go. This is something that the soldiers have long requested, which is true. Somebody was talking about mid-rats. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. We'll see what happens. Maybe, I guess we'll see the frequency of it being used to see, okay, is it justifying us having mid-rats? You know, those guys that work those midnight shifts, mid-shift, split shifts. So they have this new pay system that will force soldiers who live on the barracks and have meal card entitlements to relearn how to buy the food in the dining facilities. However, they can now spend their money on snacks in between meals because the facility will remain open all day and feature a grab-and-go section, a food truck, and a smoothie bar. Well, check out a smoothie bar. When soldiers in the meal plan show up at the new bistro, their meal entitlement dollars are spent as freedom dollars. Okay, I would have thought you could have freedom dollars. Somebody has some freedom pizza, freedom salad, freedom smoothie, freedom fries. What happens to the surplus funds from those dining? Yeah. Again, I just want to say, just pay the kids their fucking their separate rats. Why not have that type of facility and still have the soldiers have their separate rats? $39 a day, that's more money a month. Yeah, right. Okay. Well, it's almost like they just don't want to pay them their separate rats. Does that, I mean, just like, and also, of course, there was the report last year from Steve Baden who talked about the fact that where are our DFAC money? Where is the DFAC money going? And of course, that argument is different pool of money, different pot of money. Where is it going? Is it going to the DFACs or is it going to something else? I don't like that double dipping shit. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. Financial. Ooh, man, look at you in the chat, the other chats. Financial literacy is important. Yeah, there you go. That's important as well. Correct. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I don't know if it's gonna work out. Maybe because I hang out with other mill meme pages or other pages. I'm an optimistic pessimist, I guess you'd say. I'm kind of like, okay, we'll see how it works. Sounds like a good idea. If the troops are liking it, let's see what happens in 6 months. Well, hell, 3 months. It goes to the people who can't sew anything right ever. Yeah, exactly that. That's a good question, too. How come we don't have... Ooh, yeah. So, let's see. What else? There was something that I was going to talk about. Yeah, so we'll see. Like I said, I think me and Spank are going to have to go take a drive down to Hood and get some grub. Let me see. Okay, where there was one story, and I played the video and I didn't really talk about it, so this is going to be posted on the WTF Moments main page. You guys will see about the senator grilling senior enlisted leaders about the privatized housing NDAs. We just talked about that. What else? Army Times comes out with a report that says no evidence from what these senior top enlisted leaders say is that no evidence women in combat roles lowers the standard. I really wish there was a social media page for the Armed Services Committee other than just their page that's got their own video system. Like, I wish it would post on Facebook or Twitter or social media, not the other stuff that is like minutia and just kind of like fluff. So, Defense Secretary P. Heck says recent call for the review of effectiveness of women in combat roles prompted Senator Mays Orono of Hawaii to question the service leaders during a Senate Arms Personnel Subcommittee hearing. And of course, she went off and says, it's an attack on women to call this kind of review. I think he's laying the ground for reverse the policy on allowing women to serve in combat. That was what she said, quote. And then the SEAC, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff Senior Enlisted Advisor, said, I have seen no data that supports that there's any lowering of standards or that there's lowering of the readiness of units with those females in units. Sergeant Major Weimer said the same thing. I'm not seeing anything that leads me to believe there's an issue with meeting the standard or affecting readiness. Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force David Wolf said that he has served with some of the best war fighters the world has ever known. Some of them happen to be men, some of them happen to be women. Absolutely not. I have not seen an erosion. Space Force Chief Master Sergeant John Bentivegna noted that they have not seen any erosion in readiness based on the administration's positions. So that's going to get posted up, and I'm sure all the fucking vet bros are going to come out once this gets posted on WTF Moments' main page on the article rotator. You guys know we have a rotator. Like, we post 2 articles a day. Well, at least we try. 2 articles a day. So you'll see it. I noticed we get a lot of inbox traffic when someone's like, hey, did you guys see this? Did you guys see this? We posted. You can make sure you scroll down enough to where you don't believe it or not. You can actually go all the way down. And Facebook will actually say you are all up to date. It's not the end of Facebook. It's just the end of your feed. Now, I'm going to close this out by this story here. It's kind of a somber note. A Marine has been declared dead after falling overboard in the Caribbean, first known U.S. death in Operation Southern Spear. A young Marine died falling overboard from the USS Iwo Jima in the Caribbean Sea, said the Marine Corps today. The first known U.S. death, I hope I don't fuck up this name, Marine Lance Corporal Chukwemeka A. God, see now my Spanish, all my languages are trying to come together to say this. Chukwemeka Ofara. Chukwemeka Ofara was 21 years old. Ofara, infantry rifleman from Florida, was declared dead on February 10th after a 72-hour search and rescue operation failed to find him, the Marine Corps said. Our hearts go out to the families and his teammates and shipmates on the loss. Nobody, our jobs are inherently dangerous as it is, but our condolences to the families and their teams. Exactly that, Pia. God bless their families, and obviously our thoughts and prayers are with that. The mission began since last year, and so this was just starting it up. Says the multi-branch search included 5 Navy ships, a rigid hull inflatable boat, also known as a RIB, and 10 aircraft from the Navy, Marine Corps, and U.S. Air Force. So, Colonel Tom Trimble said that we are grieving alongside the Ofara family. The loss of Lance Corporal Ofara is felt deeply across the Navy Marine Corps team. He will be profoundly missed, and his dedicated service will not be forgotten. So rest in peace, Lance Corporal. So with that, again, I said I didn't want to end on a somber note. This is Sergeant's Time. Share, like, and follow. We're broadcasting live on 5 different platforms. We are on 2 YouTube pages at U.S. Army WTF Moments and WTF Nation Radio. 2 Facebook pages at U.S. Army WTF Moments and WTF Nation Radio. And X at WTF Nation Radio. Make sure, like the kids say, hit the thumbs up and subscribe. Man, we haven't get the new graphic up. Let me get the new graphic. I just realized this. I was just talking to the team. We have nine freaking shows. 9 shows. No, I mean, let me pull this up. You guys are like, holy shit. And what's crazy is that we're gonna have more. But wait, there's more. 9 shows. I'm so proud of the team. For CQ and the crew. I mean, this is incredible work. We have 9 shows. I think we are now broadcasting. When are we getting that PSYOP show? Yeah, exactly. I think there will be PSYOP talk on the Sergeant's Time Facebook page. Believe it or not, Sergeant's Time, this show has its own page. And so that just got started. Just like the Monday edition has their own page. I'm like I said, I'm pretty impressed. If you guys look at the sheer scale of what we have, man, we got to show every. Yeah, I thought it was just 7 recently. No, it's 9. 9. It's 9 shows. Let me show you. Wait, let me sure my math is right. There we go. 9 shows. We have the reset. We have the King and Me. We have the Monday edition. Man, I might as well just get my spiel ready. I have to get work on my script that I have to memorize to make sure that we talk about. We have Dr. J with the reset. Ariel Jordan, the licensed therapist, our behavioral health, mental health show on Sundays at noontime. The King and Me on Monday with the actual King Smith and Michelle. The Monday edition with myself and Massey. Massey's doing some road traveling. Glad I got invited to a concert in Gastonia, North Kakalaki. Yeah, full board like the old days. Exactly that. Well, there's more. That's why you see some coming soons right there. We have the Pop Culture Warrior with Michael Carrasquillo. Of course, CQ with his angry staff of Mad Mike and Angry Elf. The Smoke Pit, TZ and Radar. We have the Sports Bar with the actual King Smith, of course. And what do you hear? What do you say? The coach. We have Sergeant's Time with myself and Spanky. We have FTX. Tabletop gaming with the crew from U.S. Army WTF Moments and WTF Nation Radio. Weekend co-ops with Nemo. And then, of course, we have 3 more. We have talks for more shows. About ready to create an entire network. Then we don't want to stop us this time. Can't wait for the coming soon. The coming soon shows are going to be awesome. So this will be a little spicy, a little controversial too, because some of the stuff you guys talked about. This is, of course, feedback from you. How are you guys going to do this kind of show? No spoilers. Nope. No spoilers, PIQ. No spoilers. No, and no, I will not answer your spoiler questions in chats either. We like to start every show. We like at 8 p.m. Eastern, with the exception, of course, the reset at noon Eastern. So, yeah, did you guys talk about all that stuff with Pop Culture Warrior? You were talking about all the Super Bowl commercials, right? Yeah, that was pretty cool. I will say this. I'll add my pop culture reference is that I wanted to. Look, if you're gonna promote a new Star Wars movie, or like, I don't know, The Mandalorian Grogu, don't make it look like a TV show. It just looked like it was another commercial for a TV show. There was no pomp, there was no epicness and stuff like that. It just looked like it was a commercial for, coming soon on Disney Plus. There's my 2 cents. The AI shit with the Jurassic Park crew. Did you see the Ring doorbell commercial about finding a dog? Did not give you the heebie-jeebies? You were being washed, big brother, yada, yada, yada. But anyways, with the exception of the reset, which is a broadcast live, some recorded, some live, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday, and then you would just go down the line. Monday's the King and Me. Monday edition, of course. Tuesday is, of course, the Pop Culture Warrior. Wednesday is a Smoke Pit and the Sports Bar. Thursday, Sergeant's Time, like today. And then FTX is a bi-week, off and on bi-weekly show, Table Talk. And, of course, every Saturday is Weekend Co-ops. And, of course, there will be some other opportunities of streaming other shows. You'll see other guests jumping on, or other co-hosts, guest co-hosting, or hosting a show, another show. I'm known to dabble in the other shows myself. Cartoon CQ looks so swole. Yeah. Anyway, make sure you share, like, and follow. Appreciate you guys jumping in the chats and getting into some of that tinfoil. I still want to know what the freaking happened to in El Paso. Got to know. Got to know what's happening in El Paso. And then, of course, on Monday, I'll see you then. Can't wait to talk about some of the tinfoil with the Epstein shit. I'm chomping at the bit to talk about that, because that just incredible fucking drama with that. So yeah. Oh, one last thing. The judge, according for Senator Kelly, former Navy Captain Kelly, retired Navy Captain Kelly, the judge blocked Hegseth from disciplining him for the video that he made. The don't give up the ship. So, anyways, y'all have a good night. Shots. See you. I don't even know what to do. I don't know what I'm doing. Sorry. See you on RBS Shots. Later.
Hey, this is SEAC retired John Wayne Troxel. You're listening to WTF Nation Radio, the station of choice for all of the badass MFers on the planet.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Driving us insane. ATF 0 time 30, no time to complain. Push-ups in the mud, feel the muscles strain. Army life, it's a wild ride. WTF moments can't hide. Through the fire we survive, in the ranks we thrive. It's WTF moments in the Army's grind. Through the blood and sweat we find our kind. In the chaos and the fire we stand aligned. Warriors forged in the battle's bind. Hilltops in the desert, sandstones in our eyes. Memories for breakfast, no room for lies. Rocket marches through the night under starless skies. Brothers and sisters, we rise. Army life, it's a wild ride. WTF moments can't hide. Through the fire we survive, in the ranks we thrive. It's WTF moments in the Army's grind. Through the blood and sweat we find our kind. In the chaos, in the fire we stand aligned. Warriors forged in the battle's bind. Drill sergeant's fury echoing in the air. Discipline and duty we all must bear. Battle bodies by our side in the fight we share. In the face of danger we dare. Army life, it's a wild ride. WTF moments can't hide. Through the fire we survive, in the ranks we thrive. It's WTF moments in the Army's grind. Through the blood and sweat we find our kind. In the chaos and the fire we stand aligned. Warriors forged in the battle's bind. Zones and firefights, adrenaline's rush. Silent nights, broken by the enemy's hush. Medics on the move in the heat of the crush. In the heart of battle we trust. It's WTF moments in the Army's grind. Through the blood and sweat we find our kind. In the chaos and the fire we stand aligned. Warriors forged in the battle. Army life, it's a wild ride. WTF moments can't hide. Through the fire we survive. In the ranks we thrive. Memories in our mind. Brothers lost but never left behind. Army WTF moments in the stories we find. In the Army's embrace, we're forever entwined. It's WTF moments in the Army's grind. Through the blood and sweat we find our kind. In the chaos and the fire we stand aligned. Warriors forged in the battle's bind. Through the smoke and the flames we rise again. In the heart of the storm we find our zen. Battle buddies by our side, our men. In the Army's legacy we transcend.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.